All right. Gilded Yumi, too, which is fun. It is faster. I'm noticing right now, I'm fairly certain it's faster. Kind of hard to say, though. You know what, if I'm going to be doing, like, bad runs, maybe I should just go down here. But then again, I did prep up this entire run for this video, and I probably shouldn't be wasting time going into certain death areas. Sort of areas that result in my certain death. Hey, SMO. Welcome to the jam. I don't know why that's always the autocorrect for the phrase, but here we are. That's what's happening. Wrecking Ball runs? Nope. Toothpick. Toothpick combined with the Gilded Yumi, which I happened to get after beating the first boss. So that's what we're doing today. Oh, what's up? We're doing this. Did Toothpick get buffed? I don't know. But we're trying it. I mean, the fact that I managed to get a Gilded Yumi as well, I think is telling as to how I am going to be doing this run. And look, you're gonna have to go complain to Jeff Bezos about the advertisements. You understand? I was almost gonna have to do something productive. We can do something productive. I mean, that's actually what I've been doing the last week, kind of like mixing doing video games and doing stuff productive. And the stuff that I'm doing is productive, as you can see, because I got a run prepped up right now. I'll tell Jeff to cut back on the ads. Finally! I've been trying to reach him for weeks. And he's just... I have no idea what Jeff Bezos is doing right now. Hey, Stormnado, welcome to the jam. Damn it, I'm just going to say that every single time. Ah, well, such is what happens. Okay. Hey, quit trying to insult Jeff Bezos. He signs my checks. On a scale of 1 to 10, how sus are we allowed to talk? Well, this is pre-YouTube, so you can be as sus as you want. You can be one sussy baka if you so choose. Are you going to continue to mention how you play 2,000 hours, even though there's other people who have done that as well? Yeah, of course. Oh, I'm sorry. Has other people playing 2,000 hours of this game somehow lessened the amount of hours that I played of the game? Like, geez. I don't know. Seriously. Just finished giving a long hair cat a bath. Who wants before after pics? You know I can't open those up if the stream's going to get cut out. As you do. Leave that in? No, nothing is going to be left in. This is the pre-video chat where we chat about preing. Okay, I said it. It doesn't lessen your achievement of sinking time into the game. It does, however, impact how much additional love we feel after hearing about it, though. Dude, that's fine. I don't care. It's like, I feel like if you're sticking around this long, 5 years into playing, watching me play Dead Cells, then I can take a hit on the amount of love or whatever. I'm gonna play the cat game? Well, did somebody give me money to do so? Then no. No, in the meantime, we're going to play more interminable JRPGs on the channel that are they're just poison for the channel. I hate it, but, well, we're doing it. Would Cat Game even run? I have a PS4. Or is it PS5 only? I mean, I think it's telling with the second episode of Dragon's Dogma that I think before there were any comments or anything on the video, somebody already disliked it. Like I loaded up to see like, hey, how's Dragon's Dogma doing? 0% like rate. Oh, okay. Well, I guess this is gonna be one of those series. But yeah. Can we just no, we have a 3-month time. We have a 3-month limit on JRPGs. We're not going to have another one for 3 months after this. You mean throwing simulator? I stopped doing as much throwing after the second episode, where it took me a half hour to do an escort quest, where I just climbed around on a horse for most of it. Dragon's Dogma, it's made by Capcom. Yeah. It absolutely is. See, I just don't watch the vids I don't care about instead of disliking them. You don't even see dislikes anymore. So that's just like, that's how much people dislike that video. It's going to continue. Don't worry, though. Like, you're not getting away from Dragon's Dogma. Dragon's Dogma will be taking over the channel for the next month. Anyway. Ugh. What are we doing here? What are we doing? You want to go into the... I feel like I could probably take a dip into... I mean, obviously I'm doing okay on health and everything. So, you want to go into the Slumbering Sanctuary. Despite not being a pachinko machine, Dragon's Dogma is in fact a game made by Capcom. Konami, everybody does the pachinko. Pachinko is very big in Japan, and it's a very easy way to get a lot of money, you know? Oh, yes, go die to some golem. What do you mean? I got such a good build. Please ignore the title of the stream. Okay, well. What was the... Let me see real quick. Everybody does pachinko. Well, here, let's go into the sanctuary and start up the actual episode here. Yes, you have a good build. Now go die to the golem. It's not the worst build. I got like, you know, it's a very easy way to skirt the letter of the law to grossly break the spirit of it. Everybody wins. Well, that's Japan for you. All right. So here in America, we just have casinos. Like, I could go to one right now, and it's not even a big deal. All right. Hey, Azagil, welcome to the jam. You know what do I do? I'm just doing that every single time, as we're doing now. All right. How are we doing this? How are we starting this up? I take the stream. No, take a look at the build. That's what we're doing today. Scavenge Bombard is good. That's a good item. 1 VIP. Not right now. I'm busy doing other things. Unless Toothpick and Gilded Yumi have both been increased in quality a significant amount. Gilded Yumi is the best thing for the Queen of the Sea. I think I gotta re-unlock that. I think it was relocked after the alpha, so we're not doing that one today. Oh, give me a second, I'm coughing. All right, anyway. Now then, yes, okay. And then he takes out a comically large bat. All right, any plans out of DC? I was expecting more DC, to be honest. You know, we got like the boss rush thing coming out later this year. I was thinking maybe do some boss practices. It's been a while since I've done that. Unless you want to see something else. If there's something else. It means we're talking pre this stream. Well, yeah, we had a pre-stream. It's just a coincidence that it was before this stream. What is pre? Pre is a slang term for pre-ejaculation, which, you know, happens before the actual intercourse, you know, the real climaxing, wherein you ejaculate semen from your glands. Anyway. That's what I expected. Well, you asked. You don't ask questions that you don't want the answer to, chat. All right, start the episode. Yeah, let's get it up. What is? Wait, I forgot. Is it? Yeah. Is it? What's my dumb thing? Is it this? It is that. Okay. Control Shift S to start recording. Oh, yeah, I also need to, like, take that off of the menus, too. I gotta do this right, you know? Remote controller key settings. Sure. I don't want to have to edit this episode. How do I... Oh, keyboard, mouse. Right. I forgot. It's a separate thing here. Control and S, please. We'll change that to B and M. Now Shift also does that. Thanks, video game. You're very, very good at doing this. Where is that? Where's roll? Oh no, that's jump. I mean, now can I get back here already? Okay, I'm not gonna move now. Now we can start this up here. Okay. All right. How are we starting this one out? No, here, let's just do it. Oh, wait, it's... Yeah, I forgot. Oh, my God, I forgot that S is also to look down. I should make this a different macro, I guess, but how often do I actually use this whole thing? Okay, are we good? Can I start up the episode? All right, starting up in 5, 4, 3, 2. Let there be content. No, not yet. Okay, starting up in 5, 4, 3, 2. Toothpick and Gilded Yumi. Name a more classic combination. But I had a decent run going with them, so let's see how it works this time. And of course I went into the sanctuary, because what better way to test the worth of weapons such as this except in here? Now I do have stun grenade and everything, so maybe it'll go a little bit better, and I think that after the most recent alpha that it has been changed up to be a little bit better. You know, if nothing else, okay. If nothing else, the whole Gilded Yumi does work wonders against fellows like the orb casters, considering that they are otherwise extremely annoying to try and deal with if you're working with melee. Well, anyway, Toothpick. Is it better? I don't know. I didn't actually look at I didn't look for anything specifically related to the Toothpick in the notes, but it does feel like it's still doing pretty good damage right now. As you can see, this is still a fairly early version of this weapon, and it's one-shotting most things right now, so I think it's doing all right. At least from what I remember, at least from what I remember with the last time that I was using the Toothpick. Who knows? Gilded Yumi looks somewhat reasonable. Hard to say. Also for the first time in quite a while, I am taking... Really now. I am taking the Armadillo pack. A fantastic... A very, very good mutation that I usually just didn't take, because otherwise I would take it almost every single time, you know? So I just wanted to kind of switch it up a little bit here, instead of it just being, well, Armadillo pack all the time, every time that I take survival. All right, you know what? I could use an upgrade for this. However, what do I want? You got like fire? Fire would probably be good. Stunning would be good. So, rooted targets. What else? I'm willing to roll the dice a little bit. I'll also have magic bow. Right, I unlocked it in this run. Because you just get it from like the first area, so... Can I be interrupted? Nothing. Come on. I'm still willing. Okay, extra damage on critical. Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm probably not going to be able to afford anything if I try going any harder into the whole re-rolling dealio here. So, let's make this nice and easy. Now then. Gilded Yumi has always been a great weapon. Has it? Because every time that I tried to use it, I feel like it was terrible. But the end of story. That's pretty much all I gotta say on it. Okay. Yeah, Armadillo Pack. You can do stuff like that with it. It's pretty great. And that's... Oh, wait, that wasn't even the elite version of them. Come on, now. There we go. I gotta say, not working out too shabby right now. This could certainly be a lot worse. However, the whole slow wind-up on the Guild of Yumi, at least for right now, does mean that I am in a pretty vulnerable position for the orb casters. So, I'm gonna have to keep that in mind for the future. Alright. Alright. Still waiting for that commissioned VTuber model. Wait, what? I don't even... Like, where did that even come from? We weren't even talking about that in the pre-stream. Alright. Yes, nice, finally. Give me some better stats for right now. Taking kind of a hit. I do have... If I wanted to switch out the Guild of Yumi for, like, a shield right now, that might work okay. But, I don't know. Is it a really early stream? Yeah, it's Sunday. The day for Dead Cells. Oh, yeah. Of course, it has to be right where the... Yep. No, they're not making this one easy for me. At least I can get... At least with an elite Rampager and even regular Rampager, I can get some fairly easy... Damn. I can get some fairly easy sort of hits. Interesting. I'm actually going to use this for just like 1 second. Speaking of like sort of suboptimal items, because I guess that's the theme of this particular run. And we're just going to be doing this now until I get back up to full health, which is weird, but can't say it's ineffective. Whatever works, baby. That's what I say. All right. This is... I do think that the Hyper Light Drifter item has been improved a little bit since last time I've used it, but I'm not quite sure how. So, something to kind of remember for the future. Okay, that'll work. Now, was there an enemy about to attack me here? Okay. Yep, lifesteal version of it. Do I even want to? I feel like this is a bad idea to try and do that. Now, I've gotten like 20 kills pretty easily, but, in this area, I don't think it's worth it. Besides, I already got good stats right now, so I think I'm going to do without it for once. For once? I feel like I probably take Cursed Chest too often as it is, so... Maybe, not taking it for once is a great idea. See? That would have killed me. That thing right there would have done it. Would have killed me. Okay. And of course, there has to be shields and everything, too, on top of everything else. Okay. However, we also do have this. And that's why I was sort of confident about going into this area right now. Hyper Lightsaber and pistol got a damage. Yeah, that's what I thought I saw something about that. So it's just like a straight damage up. That's probably all it needed. I feel like a lot of the criticisms that I have for weapons are not... It's either speed it up a little bit or just a damage increase. I was saying that for the magic bow as well. It's like that is very much appreciated in that case then. Could go into the Guardian Sanctuary, the cavern, but I really do not think that this set of weapons is going to be a good idea in there. just a feeling right now. You know what I'm saying? Have I opened up? Wow, I opened up nothing in the upper left. Cool and nice. Roll to heal while parrying melee attacks and extra health. Yep, those are the mutations I have. The extra health you get, it's like a 40% increase on at high levels, and on 5-cell mode, that means that you can actually take a hit. Damn it. Observe. Case in point right here. So, yeah. Let's go take the Hyperlight Drifter item again. Now, let me go. I mean, the roll to parry does combo together well with that, considering how much I will get parries from doing stuff with that. But it is probably better for... It is probably better if I were to, you know, go with your RL mutations, like being bald. I mean, I suppose so. I also am... Okay, well, if we're talking about my in real life mutations, then I also still have I have a permanent baby tooth. A psoriasis. Mild psoriasis. What else? What else? What other dumb things? Very short teeth. Is that like a mutation, though, or is that just, you know, genetics? A lot of moles. I got a lot of moles on me. Any other questions? Any other ways you want to pry into my life? Bruh. Yeah, the very low damage from not having actual stat scaling with this is sort of showing up in a very obvious way, in a very big way. How do you feel about balls? Yeah, pretty cool. What sort of question is that? We doing Norbit again? Ugh. Making this nice and hard for me, eh? Well, that actually made it easy. God laid his easies on me. Okay. Now this, on the other hand, is a little bit more questionable. That said, I'll be able to deal with it just fine. Due to the magic of cheesing it out, baby. Oh yeah, let's go. Get destroyed, you stupid golem. If you're having trouble on 5-cell mode, especially if for some reason you decide to go into this area, try this strategy out. It's great. Highly recommended. 10 out of 10 doctor recommendation. Okay. Oh, I'm back at 100% health. Go switch this one out again. So gotta go get the, gotta go get that actual, Delio thing that I can't remember. Stats. There are stat scrolls that I have yet to get. Okay. Words. Oh, Doc, do you eat garlic by itself? No. What am I, Wario? Wario, in his original incarnation back in Super Mario Land 3, used to have garlic as his version of his mushroom, where he would eat it and get very strong. To mimic the garlic itself, I assume. I like having this thing here. What a lucky drop. Although I kind of have the wrong order for items. There we go. Okay, some people eat onions like apples. I probably would, but I'm not really that daring of a person. You're not Wario? I mean, I have like Wario's much stronger and more handsome than I am. What can I say? It's like I'd love to say, yes, I am Wario, but I can't match up to that Cadillac of a man who has a literal Cadillac that he drives around in. It's like, what can you even say? Literal. Okay. And you're missing out? I mean, am I, though? I do like garlic. I very much like garlic. I'll have garlic on pretty much anything, but I do not know if I'm missing out by doing that. All right. Isn't the Wario isn't the one who gets vored inside Bowser for a game? Of course, Doc is not Wario. A lot of Mario characters get vored. Like, don't you remember that bit in Yoshi's Island where you got shrunk down and eaten by a toad? I thought everybody remembered that part. Okay. Kurt. But yeah. I mean, you know, it's a Nintendo. That's like a video game. That's like a normal video game thing. It happens all the time. Happens every day. Okay. Doc, not a vampire confirmed. That is true. I mean, I talked about this before. My hatred of the undead, right? If I was gonna get like any bonuses against video game characters, it would definitely be on the undead. If you're rolling my stat sheet for Dungeons & Dragons, I have turn undead just naturally as a as an innate stat. I'm like, okay. Garlic bread's great. I don't think anybody's gonna argue on that. There ain't nothing wrong with a good old taste of garlic to bread, if you will. This run is actually kind of working out a little bit better than I expected it to. I mean, if you're a vampire, you do hate the undead because they're, even if you are a vampire, you hate the undead. Vampires are undead. You guys, I don't know if you know this. They are the demon dead. I guess I thought that was a there are 2 cursed chests in here. I kind of want to, but like, man, that is asking a lot for me. The demon dead? Dead is in the name. Undead would be implied in there. And yeah, that's the major issue that I have with Dragon's Dogma so far right now. I don't like playing as an undead character. That's also why I refuse to play Stubbs the Zombie and Medieval. Yeah, there you go. I'm just like, can I name a second character where you're undead? I want to, but I also really don't. What does the Yumi do? It is normally a tactics only scaling weapon. High knockback, extra damage if you hit enemies into walls. Pretty useless because it has a very, very high wind up time to make work for it. And also does not work well against bosses. Just period. It's sort of a... Now, what was the comparison we had to that before? But it should be survival scaling, of which, you know, being right now, I'm still like really. You won't like playing Planescape Torment? Actually, I really enjoyed Planescape Torment. I thought that game was fun. But I played as a wizard, and I did pretty much all of the content, including stuff like, you know, killing Mordor's box demon and escaping Ravel's maze. Good stuff. Good stuff. Anyway. Ranged Impaler. Yeah. I think that's... Just go. Don't risk it. It's not worth it. Okay. Is Dead Cells guy... Oh, I hate Dead Cells guy. He's terrible. But that's also intentional for you know, the game. You know, that's normal. Hey, Blutos, thanks for the 21-month sub. Wow, nice. My sub can legally drink now. I don't think 21-month-year-old people can drink. I mean, like, literally, but I don't think they should. I'll have to go look up what the current U.S. laws say. Okay. All right. You know, my state was one of the last to actually agree to the whole, like, 21-year-old drinking age. Eventually they did it because otherwise it's just like, no road money for you. Hope you like having crappy roads forever. Because that's what the government funds, baby. Losing out on 2 stats there kind of hurts, but I don't want to lose this run. And besides, I've actually gotten like a couple challenge drifts and everything so far, so I'm already sort of up on... I'm in Wisconsin. I'm already sort of up on... the thing that I'm trying to think of right now. Yeah, without so many orb casters in here, this is a lot easier to do. I'm already pretty high up on the amount of stats that I would normally have in this area. I see. What do you mean you see? What are you judging me for living in Wisconsin? I didn't really choose where I was born, you know? I guess I could have moved, but like also, all my stuff is here. Cannibal got mad hops. Cannibal's always had mad hops. They were the last state to do that? I said one of the last states, not the last state. Ugh. But, yeah. All right. Let's at least rally up a decent amount of health, if nothing else. Not ideal, but it's okay. Wisconsin. That's right. That's how we say it here. That's the official name for people that live in Wisconsin. Wiscousins. Okay. Because when you're here, you're family. Hard to get. That is a very. It's a very hard critical to get on this sometimes. I guess I'm probably going to end up using it more against bosses, even though, you know, bosses with the soft damage cap. Wisconsin's leaking out there. Is going to make it so it's not super effective. There we go. Sorry, we're talking about Wisconsin, so, you know, I'm the accent. Okay. Go there. And get down here already. Okay. I should probably leave a couple of these guys alive just to be able to roll into them and get the healing from it. Like, for example, that wasn't enough. Okay. Whatever. Good enough. Oh, great. Making this nice and hard on me now. There we go. I did, you know, when I originally got this, when I originally got the version of the toothpick that I was using, it actually did have the lifesteal on there, but I re-rolled it away because I'm just like, I don't think this is the most ideal thing to be using the lifesteal on, okay? There we go. That's what I'm looking to do there, baby. Leave 10 alive for the curse. I mean, I've already given up on 2 curses, and I don't think there's... Have they changed it again so that there's a curse chest in the clock tower? Because that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go for the clock tower, because I knew that I wasn't going to be doing a curse chest there. Playing it safe, baby. Because that's how we do it around here. We play it nice and safe, which is why I go at a mile a minute here, you know? Good. I mean, at high levels, you do get pretty decent healing from this, but, you know, with the stat, or not stat, the build that I have, sort of... What do we got? Frozen wouldn't be terrible, but not quite what I'm looking for. Plus 40% damage. If I'm not getting anything else good, I'll take that. And I'll see if there's anything else that they want to give me. Sure, I mean, just like basic plus 40% extra damage is probably going to be fine. Probably going to work out quite well for me. Observe as I just kill everything in one hit. That was 120,000 damage from that fully charged up. Toothpick does do great damage. It's just kind of hard to use. Then again, it's like, we'll see how does it work against the boss, I think is going to be the real deciding factor, right? Because we haven't seen a boss as of just yet, and although I've been fairly impressed with it right now, that's the important thing. That's where the rubber hits the road, baby, and we start driving this toothpick around like a four-wheeled vehicle. Yes. See, that's what happens when it's like, you know you don't actually have something to say, but you continue to talk anyway. That's what we call, that's what we in the business call content, baby. Yeah, I get that parry. Get that parry again, and get the parry, and then instead go directly into the thing. What else we got here? Vamp is bad again, unfortunately. Oh, for a time there, though. For a time. It was very good. I'd take a Crusher if I got the money for it. Like, yo, for a time there. I mean, actually, it wasn't even, like, all that good for a time there. It was just, hey, I got turned around on it because it just made... It made itself very useful in late game, especially. You already fought the concierge? Yeah, but the concierge is a joke. He's literally a joke. He's literally a joke. You look at him, I mean, I spend the entire time laughing so hard, and then he dies of embarrassment. That's what the concierge is like. We need to go up against the real boss. There we go. Oh. It's like a boss that doesn't die from embarrassment because you laugh at it so much. Okay, I'm going to start college work at the same time. Any tips for me? I also feel like I'm going to miss the most lives. I'm going to miss the most lives? I mean, college and work at the same time. I'm going to be real with you. If you are looking for me to help you with time management, you're coming to the wrong place. Like, oh my God. I can't even imagine who has worse time management than me. Like, oh my God, it's really bad. But you know. Find a podcast you like. I don't know. That's probably not good advice. Again, I find something to listen to distract you from actually doing work. No! What am I thinking? Anyway, thank you, Cirque C, for the 18-month sub. Hey, nice. I love you. Nah, I didn't quite get the fully charged up one there. Not there was any real point in doing that. Oh, I was going to go get... the Scavenge Bombard, of course, is working out quite well, but... Crusher with the whole slowing down and the damage reduction is probably going to work out even better, so I'm going to go get that. Started working in the last years of uni really makes you burn out. Yeah, I believe that. I mean, I only had, like, you know, part-time, sort of like clerical worky type of job stuff, so yeah, it's not really too much to be... It's kind of like a light... I would almost describe it as like a light internship-y type of stuff, which then I didn't actually use to get a job afterwards, clearly, because I'm here. So, you know. Timekeeper will outright slaughter you? We'll see about that. I mean, we will see, because I'm doing it right now. Right now. What price will it take to convert you into a VTuber? I don't even want to have a camera hooked up to my computer. That as a concept scares me. Easy photocopy job. I mean, look, I'm not going to get into what exactly I did. I'm glad you're here. Yeah. Well, I'm real happy that I have to have, like, hourly work and blah, blah, whatever. Why don't you replace the grenade? Because the stunning is really useful for a weapon that has an absolutely enormous charge-up time. See? Okay, well, I don't think I can... I don't think I'm going to be able to do much. Anyway. Or anything, seemingly. Did I go to college? Yeah, but I mean, if you think for even a second that, like... Hey? The teleportation sure is not working out well for me right now. There, good enough. Wow. What was your major? Your mom. Anyway. Decent stuff here, but like, man, that was harsh. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it or anything. It's like slow survival weapons don't really work too well against an enemy that teleports around an awful lot. Hey, should have gotten a trade job. No, that would be even worse. Why? Do you want me to fix your do you want me to be the electrician for your house? Yo, what the hell? Yeah, well, you asked, and don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. I'm actually gonna switch this out to like disengagement instead, probably right now. That'll do. Unfortunately, I did lose out on, you know, a lot of the stuff that I was doing otherwise, so. Bro did him dirty. Yeah, well, whose fault is that? I go Timekeeper. That was probably the worst build I've ever seen because I didn't want to go into an area where I'd be tempted to take another cursed chest. Also, what would have been the best third boss there? I guess Scarecrow, really. None of them are very, like, I mean, I guess actually, you know, if I did decide instead to end up taking the shield instead, it probably would have been fine. But otherwise, survival doesn't really work super well against the second tier bosses, as you know. Mostly against the first tier bosses. There's a lot of furries in high education? Huh, you're telling me. I mean, it's just like, yeah. No, I mean, well, what else am I going to say here? Giant is pretty easy. With this build? Yeah, but like with this build, though. And again, without a shield. I'm not using a shield, so I can't shield against the... I purposely decided not to use a shield, so I can't shield against the fireballs. Hello, Bebellion. We're talking about furries in high education, like the movie How High, which we sure did talk about a lot during that King's Quest stream. +7 versus a stun target. Sure. Gonna lose out on like the most basic version, but whenever I get like enemy stun, just do like tons of damage. Toothpick is serviceable against the giant. You also said that it's just like no. You also earlier just did say that no. The Gilded Yumi's great. What are you talking about? So I don't know if I can trust you and anything you're saying. Cool. Anyway. No, and it wasn't even enough. Yo, Jeff was watching the stream. Oh, poggers. Hey, Jeff. Still? Huh. This is supposed to be like in beta now. Why we still got the, the wacky pink squares? What's up with the pink squares? Is this lore? Charges the toothpick and it misses. Do you get just gonna kill everything from a distance here? There we go. 200,000. Nice. And then it starts up and immediately goes away. Okay. Man. No, I don't think it does break if you miss with it. I'm fairly certain that you have to actually hit an enemy for it to break, right? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay, and then right into the wall. Good. Oh, I have to one-shot at least a lot of these characters right now. Good stuff. Comedically placed pinks. You really? Yeah, is it? I don't think it's that comedic. I think it's just pink. See, and this is where already having the thing is working out for me. Good. And I'm so slow that I can't even like fire it off before most enemies attack me. But hey, at least at this level of stats, it's working out quite well. Yep. I think it's just like a transparency thing. At least that's the only explanation that I got right now. Good. No, you got like an item. Criticals and plus 50% damage is not even bad. I'm gonna throw that in here because, you know, I can't really like use it. Not part of the run that we're going with right now. There we are. Oh, come on. Once again, the whole can't even attack before other enemies attack me. But at least, again, I do have enough damage to one-shot most things. No, you didn't die. You just shoved away very quickly. Wow, the yeeting of that Royal Guard, it was actually like kind of doing me bad, if anything. Surprisingly enough, a lot of the knockback is not even working out in the way that I wanted to. Okay, that was close. Good. Current version of DC is your favorite one? Oh, I don't really care. And as I said, I am willing to play whatever Motion Twin happens to be. Wow, just totally with that one. Come on! Oh, I'm gonna die here. No, I knew it. I knew I was gonna die there. It was just like, because I'm just like, I can't attack fast enough to not get killed by things. Was the problem? Yeah. But yeah, that is why those items are kind of garbage. if you were ever wondering. At least you could see that death coming. Yeah, I mean, the problem was that it's just like, I was trying to like grab onto the chain to climb up there. I missed it. Can you do it again? No, that was I prepped that up well ahead of time to do. We can't just do that again. Do Wrecking Ball now? I mean, that's not... Do you have a better suggestion for a run to do? Gilded Yumi is the best weapon from the most recent story downloadable content. Anyway. Trident? You know, Trident is something that I could recheck out at some point in time. Yeah, sure. Hyper, Saber, and Pistol would also be one to maybe like do a redo of now that that's gotten a buff. What's the suggestion list? What is the suggestion list currently? Let me go see real quick. A lot of games that I would not actually be playing right now, for the most part. In other words, we'll see if they're any good. So far, Dragon's Dogma was kind of... Oh yeah, I can actually get rid of Invisible Ink now. That one has been finished. Actually, let me just update this entirely. So right now we got Age of Empires 2, Hitman 3, Dragon's Dogma, and what was the other one? Loot River. And then at some point in time, I'm going to be playing Ratchet and Clank, Folklore, the Hobbit game for the GameCube, and Sonic 06. Those are the ones that we currently have on the list. What's the list for weapon? None. I finished them all. They're all done. Stream War Inscription. I finished Inscription. Trying to find Fantasyland 2 and Pawns. I've had it turned offline the entire time. Yep. It is yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm currently doing. Dragon's Catma. Now, you know dogma is an actual word. But, yeah. Force you to play Sex and the Furry Titty. What? I can send you shit without being a friend? No, you can't because I'm offline. People think that just by suggesting online games that I'm suddenly going to play them online. That's not how that works, dog. It's like, if I make you play an online game, surely you're going to play it online. And to which I am going to point directly to the Among Us episode that I did. But yeah. No, I actually expect you to be offline. Good. I will continue to be forever. Never, ever be online. Trust me. Amogus. Yes, Amogus. It was you. I did an hour-long stream of Amogus one time, and then never again. But you were talking about going online in the second video. No, I wasn't. When was I talking about going? I actually don't remember that. You did an Among Us episode? Yeah, it's in the single episode series. I beat the game and then I Fortnite danced on its grave. Have you heard of Shotgun Chest? Also, unless you're making, also suggestions are closed unless you're paying me a lot of money, as you do. Okay. You can't finish games. It's impossible. What? Play Terraria? I've already played Terraria. There's a full playthrough of Master Mode on the channel. Did you not watch that? 50 subs per game. It's true. Play Balls. What, like Balls 3D? The weird early 3D fighting game for the Genesis? Yulia, do you have one more game to force me to play? I don't even know, actually. Haven't been paying attention to that one. What about Getsu Fumaden Undying? What is that? Dungreed? I already played Dungreed back in like 2018, I think. And then I did the Erica content when it came out. It was around the same time as, was it the Bad Seed content, or was it the 1.0 update for Dead Cells, if I'm remembering correctly? Salt and Sacrifice. Which one's Salt and Sacrifice? You have one more game? All right. But yeah, Dungreed was kind of like an old series, so expect weird old, the weird old style of content. But I was very diligent in actually completing everything. So, you know. Suggestions will open in 2035 when Dick finally gets through his list. Elden Ring was done as one of the worst series of streams that I've ever done on the channel. I was so salty about it because I didn't really like the game that much. And then it was done as a better but still extremely unpopular YouTube series. Silksong is on the banned list. Banned list is currently at, if I'm remembering correctly, Wizard of Legend. I will never play the game Wizard of Legend. Did you find the normal Smith? Yes. And I was actually gonna start out the next episode of being like, hey, I found the Smith, everybody. So I finally have upgraded my equipment. That said, it made less of a difference than I was kind of hoping to. And I even enhanced the weapon, which was a broadsword, because, you know, I'm playing fighter, to like the 3-star level. It wasn't as effective as I was hoping it was going to be. But, you know. Do you own a Nintendo home console? Yeah, I own a GameCube. And that's about it. Used to own an N64, don't have that one anymore. Wizard of Legend, okay, on the ban list. Ban list is Wizard of Legend, Silksong, and I guess just like any game I don't feel like playing. But that's you know, that's the sort of thing that comes up that's the sort of thing that comes up when it comes up, I guess. Risk of Rain 2. I do still have a recording of me getting a mastery of both of the DLC characters. The Void Survivor and funny other character, Railgunner. You know. Also, FTL. I mean, do you want FTL to be put on the list, Yulia? You have one more. Dare we sign the pact here and now? I'm sorry, Wizard of Legend is on the ban list. It's like, have you played Into the Breach? Yep, did a two streams on it, and beat the game. Nope. Okay. Fine. Have you played Blasphemous? Yes, Blasphemous was actually the second when I first opened up Suggestions game that I played. Yeah. It's all right. It's like amazing art style, of course, but other than that, it sort of just kind of played like a lot of other games I've played before. wasn't like super wowed by the gameplay, you know? Unban Wizard of Legend. Okay, fine. You can unban it by giving me 500 subs. That's the only way we're doing an unban at this point. Will you play the oncoming Rain World DLC? I don't know. I never even tried to do like the Hunter as a character after I finished the Survivor, so I don't know. Death's Gambit? I played Death's Gambit twice. The 2018 when it first came out, and then the 2021 update that they had, Ascension or whatever it was called. You don't even have 500 viewers. Yeah? Well, that's why you gotta look. If you want to get something off the unban list, if you want to unban something from the banned list, there's not an unban list. You gotta pay. You gotta pay. Dead Cells? Yeah, I did a Dead Cells series. That was prior to taking. That was one of the ones that people suggested on the community section of YouTube. You heard of Death Trash? Yeah, I'm basically waiting for Death Trash to come out of early access. I have watched a playthrough of it, you know, at least of the content that exists right now. It seems cool, but you know. Stardew Valley? I'd play Stardew Valley, sure. I think it would be pretty boring, but I'd do it. It certainly couldn't be any worse than the other JRPGs that I'm being forced to play. Sue you for creating impossible requisites. The requisite is not Silksong or Wizard of Legend. That's it. That's the entire thing. Stardew Valley stream? I mean, yeah, of course, Stardew Valley stream incoming. If you want to give me 50 subs right now, if you want to pay me hundreds of dollars. What's the story behind Wizard of Legend? People kept telling me to play Wizard of Legend when it came out, so it was put on the ban list. Hades almost suffered the same fate. 20 minutes till dawn. Isn't that Vampire Survivors game? Bro, what's wrong with Wizard of Legend? People kept bothering me about it, so it went on the ban list. That's how that works. Wasn't there also another game that went on the ban list because of that? I don't remember. Oh yeah, I guess also on the ban list is it. There's a cooldown of 3 months anytime I play a JRPG. Subnautica, I did a one-off on the channel where I roasted people for thinking that it was a scary game, and then I played it off screen. So, it was fun. That's quite petty. I'm a petty man. You got it. You're allegedly an adult? Yeah, I mean, I'm also legally an adult. I can, that's the fun thing. As an adult, I can do stuff like this. And you can't stop me. Like, you're not my parents. Chat. Slay the Spire? I think you can find us a few Slay the Spire streams that I did on that. Yeah, I think I put up like 3 streams that I did. I played that quite a bit off screen, but not too much on stream. I am your parents. I'm illegally an adult. That means that you're a child. That means that you cannot be on this stream. Lobotomy Corporation. I played that as a one-off for the Spooky Month thing that I did back in 2019, I think it was. And that game's super long, which is why I'm not like super interested in trying to make that an entire series. Have you played Anodyne? I have not. I actually do not even know what that is. How about playing Dead Cells right now? Yeah, sure. Oh. Later this year, we're going to have a boss rush coming out in Dead Cells. So for right now, why not go start up a normal mode run and just try to go up against a bunch of the bosses as practice? I don't know. We're already doing something of a casual chatting stream, as it were, as people are asking me what games I've played before. So I think they're going for something nice and simple, nice and easy. See if I can get a huge variety of weapons to actually work against some of the boss that I have trouble with, like the Scarecrow or Mama Tick. Well, not the worst idea. Certainly. So there, is that good enough? We're playing Dead Cells right now. All right, chat. What to do? Well, Vorpan. You know, I've been using the Panchaku as of late. Oh, yeah, sure. Been using the Panchaku as of late. Might as well try out something a little bit different. And also, there we go. Hit the item that I want to right now. So I don't know if there's anything that I really. I guess usually I have disengagement whenever I'm doing anything. And then let's say open wounds is a pretty common one as well. And vengeance, sure. That should be good enough for any sort of boss testing that I'm going to be doing. All right. He's now in recording mode. Yeah, well, you asked me for that. You were getting sick of just like chatting about video games, and now we're doing this. So how about that? Dead Cells guy does have a gun. What are you talking about? Have you never played with the machete and pistol? The machete and pistol. All right. So, hey, you know what? Here, let's do like boss analysis type of stuff. So, the basic way that the concierge works. Every once in a while, throw on the shield. Does damage to you when you're close. If he's walking towards you, not in melee range, he'll do a sweep. And then if he is in melee range, he'll do a punch. Punch has a very, very long startup time. You have ample time to get out of the way before he actually manages to connect it. Does make it a little bit more difficult to do parries in case you're looking to try to attempt that. But of course, getting parries on the concierge is very useful. In the past, the concierge would have too large of a shield to be able to roll past. That is no longer the case, and that actually makes trying to fight him, you know, much easier because he can't just get back into a corner. After he's down about half health, or I think like in the second phase, if you are not playing on the higher cell difficulties, he will start to switch up doing a sweep with instead doing a jump. Jump is pretty easy, and I do believe that I can actually just kind of, if I stand like at a good distance here, well, not when he has the shield on, but if I stand at a good distance, then he'll just, sail right over me. Sort of frustrating if you're trying to go for parries, but that is very, very good time to try to get parries in on this guy. It is a very vulnerable sort of situation. Anything else? Whenever he does a phase change, he yells, goes invincible for a brief time, knocks you away, usually getting you hit by the energy shield. Watch out for that one. Aside from that, he is the easiest boss for good reason. Fairly slow, extremely predictable sort of boss. Usually not really any issue at all to perfect if you're even trying to be diligent in any way. And if you're not, you'll get hit once like I just did, but whatever. That was weird. Went right through my shield. And one of the nice things about second phase is just trying to constantly get into his melee range, specifically to try and bait him into punching you. Once you get that parry timing down, it works out pretty well. Trust me. Doing a boss guide now? I guess. I don't know. Whatever. That's what I say. Let's switch out for a different build. Some little bit more. Yeah, you know what? Why not? Obviously, I don't really think most people probably don't really need too much help with the concierge. It's a simple boss overall, needless to say. However, the next one up we got is the Conjunctivius. Formerly the final boss of the game. One of the more frustrating ones because it will get out of range of most melee attacks extremely easily. As always, since I'm playing on 5-cell mode, it do kind of bypass the first phase, but otherwise it's going to be mostly similar. So Conjunctivius flies around the arena, alternates back and forth between two attacks. One is the charge attack, and the other one is, I guess it's called like Venom Spit. It doesn't actually poison you, but, you know. It is still, that's the name. If it gets it within melee range, it does that zappy attack then, and that will suffice. And unlike the concierge, who will just do that automatically whenever he is within melee range, and then just kind of continue on with normal attacks. Conjunctivius has, the zappy attack replacing one of the attacks otherwise. So now it should be, back to the Venom Spit. That's why I got 2 Venom Spits there instead. Dash. Venom Spit, or maybe she'll try and get up close to me. Nope. Venom Spit, since I'm in melee range, instead goes for that attack. Sort of annoying, but, it's really the fact that one of the big things that made this a very dangerous character back in the day was the bullet hell attack, as it's called. Usually, though, these days, you have enough DPS that you don't even really need to worry too much about that. Like, you will get to the point where you'll just kind of bypass it if you have enough DPS. Best way to build DPS is... whatever. Best way to build DPS is, of course, just to build one stat. And then we get into this phase, sort of the interstitial phase, where tentacles will be trying to come up underneath you if you're standing still and sweep across the arena. After killing one of the tentacles, or waiting long enough in this phase, they will become progressively faster and faster. Really, the thing you want to look out for is the one that is sweeping across the ground. Tentacle sweeping across the ground is the one that tends to hit you more than anything else, because it's always kind of questionable as to if they're coming from the left or right. So be careful of that one. Funny enough, dealing enough damage to the tentacles also does deal damage to the conjunctivius. If you have enough DPS, I think you can even bypass phases just from, like, overkill damage. Doesn't happen too much. So conjunctivius starts to go a bit faster and adds a few more venom shots for the thing. Obviously, each wave just sort of alternates. If you're far enough away, it's very easy to dodge. If you're close, try and go for a parry. Usually best advice there. Obviously, don't try and stick around the walls, because those spikes will do a number on you. Parrying, also very easy to do there because it's quite predictable. So if you are going to be playing this melee, trying to wait, not waiting to get near the conjunctivius, but instead trying to hit her with a shield, usually a good strategy. Here's the bullet hell attack. Oh, not really a lot of good strategy when it comes to dealing with this. A shield will help you out a good amount of situational awareness. Stare directly at the conjunctivius and then worry about moving the main character a second is usually what I'd suggest. Hanging around on the corners works pretty well. It's a hard attack to dodge. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But yeah, you can see with the little bits of dirt on the ground where the tentacle is going, and that's kind of how you can predict if they're going one side or the other. You can also jump over them, you can roll through them, parry them. Just make sure that you're not paying too much attention to the tentacles on the ground so you miss the one that's actually swiping up towards you. Yeah, the frustrating thing with this phase, and all 4 now, the frustrating thing with this phase then is that it gets super fast, so you can't even run up the conjunctivius to start trying to get a little bit of extra DPS if you're going a melee build. That is, of course, and sometimes the angle just doesn't work out well for parrying the dash. So all things to try and think about as you are fighting this character. That said, a good ranged weapon, you'll do just fine against the conjunctivius. Just make sure that you remember, alternates back and forth between the Venom Spit and the dash, so that you don't accidentally get caught off guard by the dash because you're trying to keep the distance. That sort of thing. Haven't seen the bullet hell attack in a while. Yeah, usually you have good enough damage to be able to just bypass that. Kind of know what you're doing. All right. Let's try one of the more difficult sort of bosses that I can go up against with the old machete and pistol, as I was just talking about before. And I'll keep ice armor. Ice armor, despite being something that scales with survival, doesn't make too much of a difference, really. Do we just use a health potion in the practice room? Well, yeah, I'm not taking optimal builds to go in here, nor am I super high up in stats right now, Mama Tick. Oh, boy. Has something... The phase changes have that same sort of fun issue when it comes to trying to dodge around attacks, similar to how the bullet hell attack works, but that comes every phase change instead. Pretty much, though, for the first phase, what you're doing is you occasionally get a Scythe Claw pop up from the ground, dodge it, continue trying to hit the eyeball. That thing, though, I don't know. Usually what I try to do, I try to just stand still, and then, you know, dodge as I can. I gotta say, though, there's just not really a good way to do it. But then again, I really need more practice against the boss, really. More often than not, I tend to go melee, and that is sort of hard with this boss because it likes to counter whatever you happen to do. You got a big distance, shoots these things out. Like, jumping is better than rolling when it comes up to dodging the little poison shots. Let's just use a potion charge to be sure. Now, dodging is better than rolling when it comes to doing that. And make sure you really stall out your jumps to be sure. The other thing, though, is melee attacks. Melee attacks are frustrating. The Scythe Claw slash, roll, jump, and then as you get a little bit farther into the fight and she starts doing even more of those, you gotta roll, jump, roll, jump, roll, jump. That's pretty much the best way to do it. Roll, jump, roll, jump. That sort of rhythm is what you're trying to look at if you're dodging that attack. Occasionally you get that, but that is the single Scythe Claw like jab has enough of a time that it happens to not be that big of a deal. And I'm still very bad at dodging this attack. Can you parry these? I don't even know if I've ever tried. Yeah? Nope. Or at least if you can, it has a very specific sort of pattern to it. This attack, though, that one, you can conceivably dodge, I think, the jab, the single jab attack. I don't know if you want... You can parry that. Or, you know, try and go for like a simple dodge against it. I don't think it's worthwhile. I think that one is just the book it out of there as soon as you see her try to pick up both of the claws. Not as consistent of an attack here compared to the previous ones. Dodge, jump, dodge. Parries if you're feeling saucy, but I think it's probably best with Mama Tick to try and go in for like, you know, a couple hits and then try and kind of like go back and forth. Because these claws hit a big distance. And of course, like I said, phase change is just hard. It's just hard to deal with. When I said less consistent, but I mean, it's just like, yeah, it does go back and forth between like sweep and then jab, sweep, jab. Like most of the bosses, it has a very consistent sort of phase, but it can still kind of catch you off guard if you are trying to maximize your DPS a little bit too much. And that's the whole thing. Don't get greedy in Dead Cells. Dead Cells, it's rough if you try and go in too hard. Maybe more than anything else, I feel like that's how I lose runs, because I just decide, it's probably fine. I can probably get in there for a couple more seconds. Not usually the case. Does the Cocoon allow you to parry an attack? Parry an attack and parry any attack 360 degrees. It's pretty nice in that way. Mama Teeth Clawed Crownless Purple Pineapple? Yes. Yeah, no, you got it. Well, I mean, I also have, like, the big death animations turned off right now if you're wondering about the goofy death animations. Timekeeper. Timekeeper back in the day was one of the reasons. When she was the final boss, she was the reason why the shields were considered, like, straight up overpowered at that point. It's a little bit hard to do the parries against her swipes. However, against any of her thrown attacks or the dash, it does wonders in terms of DPS. If you get caught by her golf swing, any sort of stunning, talking like, you know, or slowing, is going to be your best friend. Otherwise, let's just hope you got a shield, because that's the best way you're going to be able to deal with her. So, best way to deal with the throwing attack, if you aren't using a shield at that time, is just like jump and then roll through the next ones. Let's see if I can do that here. No. But yeah, that way you can have that, because if you just try and roll through them, you will end up getting too many of them kind of in a row to be able to dodge it with just a single roll like that. Parrying, though, is your best friend. Also, just kind of like rolling past her. She loves to do a thing where she will just kind of teleport away from you. And I do think that doing that in kind is not even a bad idea. But really, if you're struggling with this boss at all, use a shield. The attacks are very well telegraphed and pretty easy to kind of figure out. For the like spinning Mega Man style shield of shurikens that she gets around her, I do think that just like jumping over the first one and then reacting to whatever her future attacks are kind of like the best way to do it. And we got the final phase here. Start to get... You can't really stand still after this one because you start to have swords fall from the ceiling. Just kind of keep moving is the best advice that I would give there. And then, of course, everything also just gets more parts to it. Except for like that. Starts throwing out more shurikens. Starts dashing twice. Jump, slide in the parlance of Mega Man, if we're talking about that again. Kind of going to be your best friend. Obviously, with the other thing is that if you can get a good like turret, that will help counter her whole dashing around. A lot of bosses at this point, you might notice, just have the ability to... There's just a number of bosses that have the ability to frustratingly... Oh, jeez. Yeah, parry. Frustratingly get out of range of melee attacks, and that's why going with like turrets so that you can focus entirely on dodging becomes that much more valuable. But overall, and being one of the first of the second tier bosses introduced, it is one of the easier ones, so if you're just looking for hey, what's the one that you can take down easiest enough, Timekeeper's probably going to be your best friend there. The swords are seen in one of the Clock Tower lore rooms. They are floating on the back of in the background as you read a little bit on the specifics of how exactly, well, of how the Timekeeper's kind of been attempting and mostly failing to deal with the whole zombie threat on the island. I mean, not that that makes any surprise, considering that there is an entire time thing going on here, what with her intervention. Giant is, much like the Timekeeper, one of those bosses that I think works best if you have a shield. His huge, just ridiculous amount of projectile spam is well countered by a shield because, again, it's very, very predictable. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy. So, punch. Punch easily countered by rolling. Slam easily countered by getting out of the way. Of course, if you don't have a shield here, that's where it gets a little bit trickier. Like, yeah, whenever you see him start to bring one of the fists towards the middle of the screen, that's when you definitely want to prepare yourself to jump there. And that's also going to be a very true thing for the eventual Hand of the King fight as well. Overall, unfortunately, it used to be that when he had his eyeball show up, that you were able to just attack the other hand. No longer the case. So, fortunately, trying to get like piercing weapons is not as much of a strategy here. Still, though, something like Blood Shield, just look at it. Look at it go. And you can hit both hands at once, getting damage in on both the stuff. That, or trying to utilize, say, punishment shield is super good. Here, these are some of the most frustrating parts. Oh, and then we got the super attack. So first super attack, where he just goes for this. If I did that correctly, it would have just been jump, 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 and try and get away from like the side of the screen there as soon as the fists start to come over. That's kind of the easiest way to do it. I wanged it there, but if you got enough DPS, you won't even have to worry about trying to dodge that attack. This is another one of those bosses that becomes easier the better DPS you have. I mean, that's true for every boss, but you know what I'm saying here. If you can burst him down, you're going to be having a much better time. So let's talk these crystals. These crystals are annoying. They sort of fall randomly, and that makes them frustrating to deal with. Oh, wait. other super attack. Shield's best way to do that, or just kind of same thing that you do with the Conjunctivious, but just with a little bit tighter timing. That's what you're looking at right now. Okay, let's do this without the shield for once. You can kind of see, they telegraph the basic route that you should be taking. And that's just execution. It's just a pure execution part of the fight, of course. But now, okay, I've been putting off talking about this for a while. The crystals. Crystals are hard to dodge. You just kind of got to keep your head on a swivel to make sure that you're not about to dodge into another one. And as always, do not... come on. As always, do not try and be too greedy with your attacks. However, one of the, pro tricks that they don't tell you about, these are considered trap damage. Masochism will allow you to take a lot more punishment from the crystals. And if you're using something like a giant killer that can't be interrupted by enemy attack, that's any one of the survival weapons, by the way, you can, in fact, just, take the hits, take the beating and keep on yeeting. That's maybe a good suggestion if you're struggling with this fight, say trying to get the fifth boss cell. Because you can't get the fifth boss cell by beating up the Hand of the King. You gotta do it by fighting the giant on 4-cell mode. Alright, keep whacking here. Can you do the other pattern so that I can actually dodge it proper this time? But yeah, you know that you're going to be getting crystals anytime you see him do the double fist attack. And as the fight progresses, you start to have that just more and more. Okay, let's do this without shield this time. Back and forth is the strategy, but again, I wanged it, so, got that attack, though. So if you're looking at other strategies against the giant, oh my god, just the constant DPS you can get out of any decent tactics build using a couple decent turrets will just do wonders, because it will be constantly attacking the giant, no problem at all, and you'll be able to take him down, maybe even before he attacks. I had one of the more popular videos that I've had on the channel is me going up against the giant with a very powerful magic missile, and he literally couldn't do anything. So that and shielding is some of the best advice I could give when going up against that guy. All right, next up we got the Scarecrow. Oh god, the Scarecrow. Hope you like ultra fast attacks and just tons and tons and tons of it's just a really hard bunch of attacks to dodge around, but let's get in there and do it. Best boss. It's a consistent boss, and if you know what you're doing, it's really not that bad, but at this point in the game, he will chunk off, 70-80% of your health on 5-cell mode in a single hit? It's a lot of fun. And with the explosions and everything around there, too, summons, he throws ads in this fight. It's not great. All right, so start. He walks up towards you, tries to hit you with the scythe. After a couple seconds, we go into this attack. Every time he jabs the ground, he summons in a mushroomed boy. And if he hits any one of the mushrooms, or if you hit any one of the mushrooms, they explode. Be careful there. My recommendation, as soon as he jabs the ground, be prepared to kill the mushroom boy. Scythe attack here, actually pretty easy. Don't get too fast because he's got his own dive attack, which does hit you. But otherwise, as long as you're kind of rolling through them or preparing yourself, or preparing yourself, it's just like preparing yourself for a parry, you can get through it easy enough. Once again, biggest advice, don't get greedy with the attacks. Getting greedy with the attacks isn't great. Okay. He takes out the shovel. He'll try to hit mushrooms towards you, which will then explode. Run towards him at that point. Biggest advice that I would give here. If you see him start to use the shovel to pitch mushrooms at you, running towards him will prevent you from getting hit. But as you can also see, you can roll into the mushrooms before they hit the ground to kind of destroy them and cancel out the damage that you would take. Very useful. This attack, fun fact, hits twice, so it's extra good to parry that attack. But again, if you get hit even once, you're gonna have like 70% of your damage taken. Oh yeah, another way you can activate these, jumping on the mushrooms, so watch out for that. Well, anyway, so shields, oh yeah, don't walk directly on top of the mushrooms though, also bad. This is again a very parryable attack. When he runs out of mushrooms, just starts whacking you. It's enough to get a little bit of extra damage, but still not the easiest. You can of course try and jump on the mushrooms to maybe give it a little bit more distance. Maybe destroy some of these mushrooms to make sure that they're not about to explode on you. I get to see that weird floating down thing. But this is a glitch. This is not a normal part of this fight. Anyway, I don't know what's up with that. Like, hey, we're doing the boss showcase here. Do you mind not doing weird things? Okay, well, anyway, that attack would have been when it brings out the watering can. Watering can, roll underneath it. Roll underneath it, and then get prepared to roll the other way. That is the best advice that I can give to you. And that is going to be the way that you... as he starts to do that many, many more times over the course of this. And then, of course, having 3 of them here to make this extra difficult. Me not taking out the mushroom boys fast enough means that now I got to deal with this, which is fantastic, too. Ugh. It's a lot. This is a fast fight. If you are confident in your build, you can take down... The Scarecrow does have relatively little health compared to other bosses that you're going to be fighting. Okay, here we go. Doesn't activate the mushrooms, but, you know, still, you jumping any point in time is going to set you up badly. All right. So yeah, Scarecrow you can take out very quickly. If you got good DPS, and if you're feeling confident in your ability to deal with the extremely fast hits he's going to be laying down. Like, there's a point where at the 3rd phase, right before he's about to die, that entire thing where he's using the sickle to try and hit you, or the hoe, I'm actually not really sure what it is. It's like, you can't parry and then parry again before he hits you. It's ridiculous. Which is why what I like to do is I like to get a parry and then roll, let him do another attack, then get another parry, then roll away, you know, get some distance there. It's rough. It's rough, I'll be honest. And that boss is not easy. But if you can do it, but you know, it is an important one if you're trying to go for like 100% of everything. I don't know if I would recommend fighting the Scarecrow on like anything but the most powerful of runs. Hand of the King. And this is your usual final boss, and usually a pretty big, and usually he's a glass cannon basically. Yeah, he is a very fast, hits very hard, but has pretty low health. So if you got like good stuns, if you got good DPS, well, it's like you can take him out, but if you got good DPS, you can stun lock the giant. You know? Successful parry resets the cooldown, so you can. It never felt like it for me. And, you know, speaking of like Cocoon, I don't think Cocoon works because, again, he hits twice with the sickle attack. Okay. Hand of the King. This is usually a big old bottleneck for people. Very fast, little telegraphing on... Well, slow... But all of his attacks have very little telegraphing to it, except for this very first one that he always throws out at the beginning of the fight. That's easy enough, just run behind him. But like that, yeah. Parry it easy enough, but like actually trying to anticipate it sometimes is hard, especially if you go in a little bit too fast. But, you know, jump, roll, jump, sort of the best way to take care of it, if you can. Just kind of move out of the way whenever he decides to bring in... move out of the way whenever he decides to bring in the bombs. That's again one of those get your distance sort of moves. And they also do... the bombs also do explode a lot faster than you want them to. But overall, you should just anticipate that the Hand of the King... Okay, now really. Just anticipate that the Hand of the King is about to attack you like a second after he does any one of his attacks. Pretty much, I would say every one of the jab, you know, like the big slice, roll, and then jump. Because it doesn't matter if he's doing the slam down on the ground or if he's doing the... Okay, please. If he's doing the slam down on the ground or if he's doing the 3-hit combo, either one of them, roll into jump is a good idea. The dash, fairly easy to dodge, all things considered. All you gotta do is roll through it. And that one does have a little bit more tell compared to most stuff. But like I said, for the most part, just anticipate that he's about to attack. If he's about to move at all, like, I would say roll, almost. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, this is a tough boss. And it takes many hours to try and start to do this as a perfect fight. Unless you decide to go in and take the barrel launcher and the crow's wings. Barrel launcher and crow's wings, he will be completely unable to attack you because all of his attacks are on the ground. So floating in the air, you can't really do too much. And you can get a free colorless barrel launcher from, using the distillery route. And that is one of the easiest ways to just perfect this fight, no problem at all. Do watch out that he hits your barrel and reflects it back at you. But if you are truly struggling and you cannot get this fight down, that's a great way to cheese out the fight, let me tell you. And it's not even just the barrel launcher. That's like one of the easiest things to get, and that works for any build, of course. But, I'm just talking specifically, like, a ranged weapon, period, will do you good. All right, any sort of bomb, any sort of turrets, any sort of, like, ground covering, I'm talking like fire or whatever, will take out these banners pretty easy. You can also just kind of get good distance on them, or even just, interact with them. Watch out. That third hit of that strike, by the way, does hit, like, all the way across the arena here, so look out to think that you might be, like, outranging him. That is not, unfortunately, how it works. It's like he will seemingly manage to hit anywhere, any and everywhere around you. All right, at this rate, I'm going to have to do this again. Too much time trying to talk out the basic mechanics. All right. So here you get, if you're not playing this on the high cell difficulty, usually you get one more phase where he also summons only one elite and 3 regular enemies. Here you get 2 elites and 2 regular enemies. If you're lucky, you can get one of the regular enemies to fall on top of him since he ends the phase after you kill the elites, or wait long enough. Be careful for that. But if he has a regular enemy fall on top of him, he'll take an outrageously huge amount of damage from that, which is pretty funny, and also makes this next phase a lot easier for you. Keep that in mind. I'm actually waiting long enough that we're seeing his first, like, swing attack here, which usually you don't see. His big slam attack, while very devastating if you get hit by it, very easily countered as long as you haven't been spending a little bit too much time on the platforms around here, thankfully. And also stall it out a little bit, because he will try to, oh geez, that works, I guess. Stall it out a little bit, because if you go too early as soon as you see that attack, this is the one attack that he does not stall out a ton. So, or the one attack that he actually stalls out, that he does not have, like, very little telegraphing for. Uh-oh. Yeah. That was the problem. That was the problem. Don't want to do that. All right. Let's go do this for real this time. Oh, he's probably the best boss in the game. He is a very fun boss, but like I said, his extremely... He will swing at you almost instantaneously. At least it feels that way when you're playing the game for the first time, when you're playing against him for the first time. So it's hard to predict, and it's a hard boss to fight. Like I said, there's ways to cheese it out if you really don't want to try and learn this boss. Don't feel too bad about that. All right, dodging, parrying him. Parrying him is a good strategy. If you can get all 3 hits there, because he does stall it out long enough that even if you have the brief invincibility from just carrying a shield around, that you will get hit by all 3 of his combo hits. Thanks, Motion Twin. Thanks for designing it like that. But that does mean that, you can parry him pretty easily. As soon as it does 2, 3. Yeah, it does take a little bit to get. And, of course, if he then goes into the jump attack, you cannot parry the ground slam. which is usually why, again, I like going for the roll and then... Okay. Always be prepared to jump. I mean, I prefer going for the roll on the first one, but you do you. Oh, yes, and also, one of the frustrating things is this is one of the characters that really does counter ranged weapons well. You'll notice that he will hold up his eponymous hand and block a lot of, like, range attacks. Not everything, so it's not impossible to... do a pure range attack against this guy, but it is certainly not the easiest thing. All right, his dashes, while annoying, are mostly there to try and force you into the spike pit more than anything else. You don't tend to get killed by getting dashed into. It's the aftermath that's the problem. Oh, by the way, when he's invincible up here, he does... Okay, sure. When he's invincible up here, he does, in fact... like, eat projectiles, so that's fun too. All right. Just give it a second because, Yeah. This is another arena where if you're having a lot of trouble, like, dodging the dash attacks, it might actually be worth trying to take masochism in here too. You can also just kind of hang out in the spike pit if you just need a very brief reprise as well. Which I don't know if I would necessarily recommend that as a strategy, but hey, he's got it there. And if you try and go with any sort of pushing weapon, he will kind of jump out of the pit if you knock him into the spike pit, which makes him a lot less predictable, so I would say avoid doing that. Good luck, though. It's a hard fight. It is a hard fight. All right. Oh, boy. Let's just keep this build and go for the servants. All right. These are basic characters, but they're characters that attack you at once. Whoa, Nelly. The Super Slam. The Super Slam. If you really need to stall an attack... If you really need to stall in the air, attacking can work. Yeah, you do get, like, a very brief amount of stall time in the air, whenever you use any sort of attack. I mean, I think aside from, like, bombs. So, that can save you. It's not something I would rely on too much. All right. Okay, so it's just all three of them at once. Well, that's useful. All right, Cleo. Or not. Not Cleo. Whatever. I'm fighting Cleo now. So each one of these characters has their own thing that they do, of course. Parrying is of questionable effectiveness when you have multiple characters attacking at you. First one, let's just say the one with the Wrecking Ball, Cleo, is annoying. Her basic ability is it's a very slow slam, which you can kind of move out of the way. Once again, don't get greedy. Will end up with you getting a lot of damage. But she also does have a very fun ranged attack where she'll just throw the... Okay, now, please. Let's just do this here. So yeah, the basic slam down of the Wrecking Balls, fairly easy to dodge. That's really not the worst. It's the one where she slams them all the way against, like, the walls, and usually at two different angles that are more frustrating to deal with. However, it is the easiest of the three. Just kind of watch out if you are at enough of a distance that as soon as you see her whenever you see her pull that Wrecking Ball back, that you are prepping up either to parry or roll. So here, yeah, it's prepped up to parry. Euterpe. Euterpe is a very obnoxious character who has a lot of ranged attacks, obviously being the bow user. Watch out for the slam down. Basically, the best thing to do with the slam down, I keep dodging through it. You shouldn't dodge through it. Just, like, when she appears, which should be right now. All right, not quite yet. Yeah, can't even go on the wall because she does throw two then. Right here. Yeah, it's got, like, the snipe attack. You can roll. You can try and parry. I don't know if I would recommend that. Waiting for her to do the slam down attack. Jump. And that leaves her open to be attacked very well. And then you can roll behind her whenever she tries to do the sniping. It's a good way to get a lot of extra damage in against her. And then, of course, she'll also do this. You can either stand in the middle or roll through it. The timing is a little bit tight, but it's possible. It's not the worst thing to try and deal with. It's just more obnoxious when she's paired up with the other characters because, you know, that gives them a lot of chances to attack you. You can try attacking her up here, but she'll usually jump up into the ceiling before you're able to do much of anything. So I think best thing to do if you're trying to attack Euterpe. I also realized that just like, no. Cleo is the third character. Calliope is the first one. Damn. Can't remember the characters here. Okay, Wrecking Ball character is Calliope. The character with the blades is Cleo. Character with bow is Euterpe. Okay, there, jeez. Get that out of the way here. Look, I'm trying to do the fight. It's hard. But anyway. So yeah, Euterpe is more of a support character than anything else. And she'll probably be the one more often than not that you end up killing third. Now Cleo, now that I'm calling her the correct name this time, is the really annoying one. Her whole running across the arena. As soon as you see that shining trail, be prepared to either parry or just roll through. And I would recommend rolling through because if you take damage from her, she does a ton. Also does have some basic melee attacks, which I don't even know if I would recommend trying to counter. I have a hard time even trying to take care of her when she's doing that attack because she moves forward. She's got like a 3-hit combo. And again, it'll take out most of your health if you get hit by that. Oh, do remember against Euterpe when she does the arrow rain, roll into it. Roll into it. Do not roll away from it. So like towards her, towards where she's coming from. And then otherwise just keep moving. Parrying will get you a lot of opportunities to get attacks in here. Kind of what I would recommend against Cleo more than anything else, but you know. It's a hard time. This is a hard boss. And of course having 3 of them at once is it's just horrible. Oh, and I didn't even talk about how Calliope does have the... There we go. Does have the one attack where she slams both of the wrecking balls on the ground if you're going for more of a melee-focused type of thing. That's just, hey, get like 1 or 2 attacks in here and then... Yeah. Nope, didn't want to go for it that time. Get 1 or 2 attack... Yeah, here. Come on, go for the slam. Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam, etc. Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, that one. Just run away. Jump, and then roll. Because it's got a big, huge shockwave on it. And additionally, is just overall frustrating. Cleo's other really vulnerable time is after doing her 3-hit combo. Kind of pay attention to that. But overall, it's just like this is a nightmare fight. It's a hard time, regardless. Ooh boy, ooh boy. Ah, hit the microphone. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. All right, let's go take out a different build here. Take the wrecking ball myself if I want to die. I don't think I do. Here, let's go in there. Try and talk it out a little bit more. See if I happen to forget about any... Sure. See if I happen to forget about anything as I was doing that very frantic explanation with that boss. If one of them dies, they disappear from the fight? Yes. If they get down to half health prior to the points at which you're fighting them, they will run away. And if they die in this part of the fight, when you're fighting all 3 of them at once, they die. Raw Spite Sword? Yeah. I know Spite Sword's great and everything. Well, that is not what we're doing here. Always starts out with Cleo attacking you. So 3-hit combo, go for the back. Really, though, it's just... I don't even know if I would recommend it. Wait for them to attack and then go for counterattacks. Or in the case of Euterpe, just try and roll behind her. Or, like I said, jump after she does the slam. Ah! Parries. Trying to catch Cleo in a parry is a good opportunity to try and do stuff, but, you know. And like I said, jump into hits. This is definitely a boss where jumping is a great way to dodge most of these attacks. It's not easy, though. Like, none of this is easy. Come on. Oh, Cleo, you weren't going to try and go do that again? And roll behind, hit, roll behind, hit, roll behind, hit. And I was going to go for the parry, but Cleo just kind of rolled right over me. Hit, hit. Oh, now I need to jump for that one, and I still got hit by the actual wrecking balls themselves, not even the other stuff. 3 hits, hit 1. Yeah, I'm still just getting slam-a-jammed, as you can see. Okay, that was close. Okay. And 2 hits in the back when she does a throw, basically. Ah. And then I got hit by the slam anyway. Go with the parry. I'm going to roll through that one. I don't feel confident in my parry. All right. 2 hits and then roll. 2 hits and roll. Oh, wait. Got to jump that one. Roll. And now... not making this easy, are you? Parry on that. Yeah, roll and then parry. Roll and then parry was the strategy there. Like, as you can see, it's like this one is just like one that you gotta get used to. There's no slam and then jump and then should have jumped a second time, but I wanted to get in the damage. Give me a second here. Thanks. Roll, parry, parry, and then still got hit by that. But yeah, it's like you need to... There are things where it's just like you need to do a lot of stuff at once. Roll. And I should have jumped there, but I didn't. Oh, what a fight, man. 3, hit once. 2, 3, jump. And I didn't even have time to jump a second time. You know how that goes. It's a tough boss. Like, legitimately, I do think these 3 are tougher than the actual Queen boss. It's rough. All right. You can also just run that attack too, but good luck when you have all 3 of the characters alive. Obviously, again, it's just like... Hello? They give up? I think they gave up. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's sort of like catching the concierge during... It's sort of like catching the concierge during the jumping attack, where, trust me, when she does this thing, it's best to do a parry if you can, but if you can't, then you gotta roll through. Remember, you can roll while jumping, so... It's not like ideal sort of circumstances, but hey, it'll work. Whatever works, man. There. Ugh. And of course, everything lines up in a way that it's like, you gotta be real specific in how you're doing stuff. And see, she does not even get stunned by that parry. Does get stunned by that, though. Which is nice, at least. Okay. Jump and hit and parry and jump. I'm actually even using the second, like the double jump, as sort of like a major strategy when it comes to making sure that I'm jumping properly against when Euterpe decides to come down. Okay. Still, I don't think that trying out this boss probably not even the worst idea. Really getting a hang of like the 1, 2, 3 sort of combos that I got to do to really make this work. Range attacks obviously going to be working a little bit better for Cleo just entirely, but whatever does it, you know? And one more combo. There we are. Oh, these 3 at least don't get harder as difficulty progresses. Yeah, they don't get any new attacks or anything. It's a one-phase type of thing, but it actually gets easier as you beat them. It's true. Yeesh. Well, then, maybe focus one so they don't all come together at the start of the fight. Yeah, I mean, you can try, but good luck trying to make that work, really, is what I would say. That is one of those things that is much easier said than done. We got the queen hanging about here at all. Because, I mean, certainly you can attempt to, but more often than not, you probably just end up having Euterpe as the final boss, as the final part of that fight, and, you know, not really too much else to be said. Do seem to get fast to a degree. At the same time, you used all 4 pots. Yeah, well, you know, I'm also, like, not really building. I'm not... Normally, at this point in time, you would have a build. All right. Normally, at this point in time, you would have, like, a better build here compared to most stuff. Queen. God, do I even know how to fight the Queen all that much? I usually end up dying against the Guardians more often than not. Am I taking Face Blast? Don't I have Vengeance? Or are you asking why aren't I taking it? Oh, I did take it. I thought I got rid of it. All right, Queen, let's go. Be prepared to take the lame thing. But anyway, so her basic thing is many, many swift attacks. She also likes to False King Allant you pretty much constantly. There's a decent amount of attacks that can be dodged just purely by... Decent amount of attacks that can be dodged purely by doing a jump, but like that one, for example. But the one where she throws down like a column of flame is not great. Parrying, obviously, very effective against a lot of this. In fact, one of her big gimmicks, the ability to parry your attacks, is well countered by just auto parrying her as soon as she tries to do that. Yes. Of course, then she also has attacks that you just can't parry. This entire fight is generally just built to be hard. It's just a hard fight. And having a command grab, while it is slower than a lot of the other attacks, is just frustrating. To be honest, you know, a lot of the fights that I've done up against the Queen have been in a way that... Come on. I've just kind of overpowered her, and she's died before the fight's even started. Much like the Scarecrow, it is possible to just totally out-level her, and that's usually how I end up doing it. But yeah, having her False King Allant going into parry is not even a bad idea. There. Of course, having her pull out some of the phantom weapons is not helpful. It's not good for your health either. Can't parry grabs, after all. Ugh. You do have the Mercy Revive, yes, but that's the lame way. Oh, come on! You can't turn around as you're doing that. Okay. I'm not even attacking her fast enough to be able to get her parry stuff going on. I think this is going to be one that it's like, I really got to go do... You know, that's the thing I think I'm going to do. Next time for these fights, we'll do a... Next time for these fights, we'll do a hour-long fighting the Queen type of thing to get a little bit more used to this fight. Because I'll be honest, I haven't really fought her a whole lot because she's a very hard fight. Don't have as much expertise to be given here. And as you can see, a lot of the strategy that I do employ is just kind of like, and then there's this, which, you know, just keep moving. What can I even say? A lot of the strategy I employ is either parry or roll as soon as she does an attack. Oh, she able to stun out of that. So, like, roll. Oh, wait. So she roll, hit, roll, hit, roll, hit, roll, hit. And that works even if she does the whole counter parry too. So, you know, roll, hit, etc. and so on forever. But is that really like the best way to do it? Because she'll occasionally do that, or like the slam down on the ground, which you can't parry, so, you know. That can be kind of frustrating if you aren't killing her within the first couple seconds starting the fight. Fortunately, like unlike the Collector, for example, you can't actually... There we go. Like the Collector, for example, you can't actually parry the Fire Whirlwind there. Make sure that you stall it out a little bit with that grab, because as we've seen, she can just kind of like turn around and grab you. Ah! Can you parry that? I actually don't even know if I've tried to parry that attack. Nice try. Yeah, it's just like hit, roll, hit, roll, hit, roll. And then, of course, one of the other fun things that she can do is... Oh, well. I guess we'll have to wait until the fun things is that she can grab your, like, projectiles or thrown items and throw them back at you. You can knock her out of doing that, but with how fast she moves, it's not the easiest thing. Oh, come on now. Not hiding, it's just a hard boss. Okay. But yeah, I'll admit, don't have as much good advice to be given on the Queen. It is very easy to just kind of like out-level her, like I said. Yeah. Whatever, I should really just lose here after all. I don't deserve this win even if I get it. Dash hit, dash hit, dash hit. Can she kill Mushroom Boy? Yeah, and she did. I think like one of the episodes I did pretty recently was had that as the thumbnail, where she was murdering Mushroom Boy in the thumbnail. Well, at least when she decides to go for that the anti-ranged weapon parry. You can roll through this attack too, which is what you're planning to do with that, by the way. Turrets, of course, also like very effective in this fight, just in general, because of the whole, much like the Timekeeper being very dodgy in this way, does mean that you unfortunately have like a lot of opportunities where you just cannot really do damage if you're going melee, especially. Like I can do like the one hit or two hits, as it were. Don't try to grab me. Ah! Oh, whatever. Once again, this is a shameful win. Oh, but like, yeah, it's a hard fight. Not much like Scarecrow. Not going to sugarcoat it. They have been the arms race to try and create the hardest fight possible in Dead Cells has been ongoing in the DLCs. Don't worry about that. All right. Now, finally, we got our good friend, everybody's favorite, the man about town that we all know and love, the Collector. Let's do it. Why is there a hook-toe effect whenever blood procs? I mean, that's just what they do to show that the blood, that, you know, after you deal enough blood stacks, that it does a burst of damage, Dark Souls style. Do a Frost Blast synergy? Oh, yeah, that's real effective. Okay, unlike the Queen fight, as far as final boss fights go, this is an endurance fight. This is one of those, spoiler boss. If you're looking at the boss rush, you know what these bosses are, I assume. Well, the pseudo boss rush I'm doing right now. But anyway, what was I saying here? Collector practice fight is unscaled. Oh boy. Well, I am playing this on 5-cell mode, so what does it matter? I see. Well then, you know what? Maybe we'll just say go and watch my other videos on this one. Or you know what? You guys are on your own. Learn this boss fight yourself. Okay. All right, now we can get into random tangents. What do you want, guys? What are we talking about today? You can't win this? Have you seen me fighting this character before? Yeah, I can. Can't win this. That's the words of somebody who hasn't tried. So I see that this one, fight-wise, yeah, maybe not as well-balanced. Motion tweening. Still got to do this one perfect, too. Can't actually parry these, in case you were wondering. I mean, don't get greedy is, as always, a good advice in any situation, especially in Dead Cells, because losing any amount of health is going to be bad. Doubly so here. Ow. Unscaled. Okay, then, sure. Also, watch out. He likes to switch out how many times he does the whole syringe. I cheesed it, but I should have the cool stuff that you get for finishing it, you know, flawlessly, because I have done that before. There's video proof of it, but, you know, it wasn't implemented at the time. Whatever. You know, the real thing is do it again if you're so good at the video game, right? Right. Haven't even gotten him past his first phase. Should be almost there, though. Go pick up the collector killer. No, I don't think there's anything that I'm going to be able to do with that. So yeah, you're on your own on that fight. I'm not going to try to fight him for real at like level 1 stats against an end game boss. All right, so there's a little bit of fun boss fights, analysis. I don't know. And so I just something I've been considering doing for a little while, and now with the whole boss rush thing, is a perfect opportunity to do so. All right. Now then. Well, I guess that's it. Okay. Bye everybody. Da 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 da.